be assigned or like voluntarily you should come up and take this opportunity for glorification. होता है ना कि सिनेमा सॉन्ग में कभी कभी लोग कहते हैं मैं गा दूंगा एक, उनको गाना कुछ नहीं आता, हाथ उठा दिया सीधा और चालू कर दिया. Why not come out for Krishna, glorifying Krishna? It's nothing but you are just saying, oh, I want to take an opportunity to glorify Krishna today. So there is nothing wrong in coming up, and every devotee should come up that way. So in absence of some devotees, other devotees can replace. Otherwise, if it is one devotee singing all the time, when there are so many voices, and although somebody may sing very well, but because they are not given an opportunity at the time of need, they will not come up because they have never done it before. So it was very nice, and thank you very much, Prabhu. And what we have is, when we sing, taking the names of Ishtadev at last is the choice of the devotees. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Arti should be short and Mahamantra should be long. So we should not take too much time in Arti, because the Yug Dharma is what? Arti or Harinam?
Harinam.
So it's chanting of holy name of the Lord. So Arti can be there as a glorification to the Lord. So preference is that we can sing once the Arti lines based on, and also if you sing more, you will actually learn the technique. You have to look at a person who is doing the Arti. Is it a slow devotee or a fast devotee? If it is a fast devotee, you have to adjust with your kirtans. That you might have to sing the lines double also sometime. Now if it is a devotee who just goes like that and does within 10 minutes, then you have to adjust with your Arti also. So maybe just sing once, but go into Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Principle is that Mahamantra has to be longer than the Arti. And at the last, chanting the name of Jai Prabhupada, that's compulsory. It's a spiritual master. But saying Jai Radha Madhavari, that's not compulsory. Like if the devotee is good at it, they want to sing that way, it is not a problem. But Hare Krishna Mahamantra itself is enough and sufficient to glorify Radha Madhavari already. So it's optional. So as the things come up, I might throw a little bit information here and there. So it's optional, but you can also do it. But chanting the name of Prabhupada is must. And some of the devotees need to start with the Prema Dhwani prayers also. The Jai at last that we do, that is called a Prem Dhwani. The Dhwani of Prem. So you might have already heard so much, the devotees doing it. There is something that you must do when you do a Prema Dhwani prayer, and something that you can't add too much. Like if there is a saying that the expert writer is one who can keep things away from his books, not who can put everything into the book. So whenever you do chanting or when you do a Prem Dhwani prayer, the success does not lie on how much you can put inside, but rather what you can take out. So some things in Prema Dhwani prayer, heading to Prabhupada and Bhakti Siddhanta, that's the line of parampara. We have to do it. Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Gaur Kishore Das, these are the parampara line. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly. So that's a little bit technical, but I think it is good to practice on that also. Or we can write it down exactly what we can say and what we cannot say. And when you finish a Narsingadev prayer, we don't have to say, Jai Narsingadev, and go into Jai Lakshmi Narsingha, Jai Lakshmi Narsingha. The prayer itself is Ugra Narsingha prayer. We chant this prayer to Narsingadev, who is Ugra Rup. So we can just say Jai Narsingadev, Jai Narsingadev. And at last there is a Prem Dhwani for Narsingha prayer also. Just like, we will say, there are many things we can say, like Jai Gaur Premanandi, Jai Prabhupada, this is fine. But because it is related to Narsingadev, at least we say Narsingadev Bhagavan ki Jai, just to make it simple. But if you want to be accurate, it is Bhakta Bigna Vinashak Shri Narsingadev Bhagavan ki Jai. One who destroys the Bigna of a Bhakta Bigna Vinashak. Jai Narsingadev ki Jai. So these are the type of things that you may add up to your list of learnings and list of practice also. So we'll get into the Jai Radha Madhav prayer. Since Prabhuji has already mentioned, chanted, but we have to chant before the class itself. So we'll just complete that also. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jai गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन ब्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन ब्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरावनचारी तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय प्रभुपादा 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 जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा 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 जय प्रभुपादा। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 ओम नमो भगवते नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवतेरुत्तमा श्लोकैर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीं यस्यं भासूर्यमाणायां कृष्णैर्परमपुरुषैर्भक्तिरुत्पाद्यते पुंसा शोकमोहभयापहा। हरे कृष्ण। So I like certain things from the devotees in the beginning, so maybe somebody can help me to. I have already talked about this topic after last week 3 times somewhere else, so I don't know where I have reached today. There was some funeral that I went to some days ago, so the story of Puranjan befits the path of renunciation, so they said, we want you to give a class on that topic in our house. So I spoke about this topic, so I don't know where I have reached up to what position. So now you need to tell me where we have reached in this class.
Prabhu, Narad Muni was talking to King Puranjan.
What was he trying to say?
He was trying to say about Buddhi. He was giving like a...
totally describing the whole Jara, Marana, those stuff basically.
They went to the jungle and out.
Okay, so we have the devotees who are very technically fit here, or they know a lot about technical items. So what is this forest?
It's Maya.
What is the forest? After all, this story is what?
It's life.
It's called the allegorical story, trying to convince somebody by indirectly trying to create a story. So Narada Muni is simply creating a story, okay? And you will see how further he creates into a story, and ultimately he brings right to us now. Today's class is that what he was trying to say by all this. Okay? So he created a story. What was the problem? Why did he have to create this story? Any reason? That's because somebody was not attending a Sunday program every week, or what was the reason?
Why
He
they
was
wanted-
Karmakandi.
And what is, in the mind of Narada Muni, what is the problem with Karmakanda? As I explained some of that Karmakanda last week, what is the problem with Karmakanda?
Detachment.
Okay, so briefly discussing, we talked about 3 topics. That is Karmakanda, Samskar, and the path of Bhakti, spiritual. So, what is Samskar good for?
Rituals.
Sorry?
Rituals.
No, Samskar is good for? Just like if you want to have some plantation done, before the plantation, what is important?
Preparation.
The soil is. So, samskar If there is no samskar, you cannot seed the seed of devotion onto that heart, because you don't have the soil right. So samskar basically creates a soil within you. इसलिए बोलता है बहुत संस्कारी लड़का है, किसी का शादी करना है तो बोलते हैं क्या इसका क्वालिफिकेशन क्या है। तो जब हमारी छोटी दीदी का शादी का समय आ गया था तो पापा जी को बोला ये लड़का ज़्यादा कमाता भी नहीं है, तो बोले संस्कारी तो है ना। बोलते अगर जो व्यक्ति संस्कारी वो कुछ करेगा जीवन में, और जो व्यक्ति संस्कारी नहीं है केवल पढ़ा लिखा है वो कुछ नहीं करेगा, वो केवल पिएगा खाएगा इतना ही करेगा वो, क्योंकि उसमें संस्कार के गुण नहीं है। तो हमारे पापा ऐसे करके बड़ी दीदी को दे ही दिया। तो अभी जो जीजाजी है, ही इज वन ऑफ द प्रमुख भागवत कथाकार, because of the sanskar that he has developed. So the point here is the samskaras give this qualification to make your heart appropriate for the devotional seeding. So the samskaras and the devotion goes together. But the problem with karmakanda is, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. The day you stop scratching, I will also stop. So this is a problem here. Like when you realize that I had done last puja and Ganesh ji or Krishna ji gave me something. When you are able to directly perceive what you are getting for the puja that you have done, then there is a reason why you perform the next puja. But if you feel that within that puja you asked, I want my son to get a scholarship, and that was the reason of your puja, and somehow or other Krishna decided that you know what, you are not meant to get it, so I'm not giving you this time. You filed an application, but your application was not approved. Then what happens next time? You lose your faith because you did not get the material result that you wanted, so you stop doing the spiritual practice. So therefore Srimad Bhagavat says the spiritual advancement is not meant for material gain. Don't use it, because you might get it, but everything depends on the giver, who is the Lord Himself. So when the Lord thinks that you can't get it, means you can't get it, and that should not be the cause of making your faith weak. And most of the time it happens. भगवान के ऊपर बहुत मानता था, मैं बहुत मानता था, जीवन में केवल एक छोटा चीज मांगा मैंने और वो नहीं किया, उसके बाद मेरा टूट गया. It's easy to say that way. So therefore Bhagavatam in first place says nihaya karma dharmaya nava iragya kalpate. That process of bhakti is not meant for material development. It is not. Don't try to use it. You might get it. You might shoot down a mosquito with a machine gun, that's fine. But purpose of a machine gun is not to shoot the mosquito. So the purpose of the high value of devotion is not meant for the material gain. It does the work. The devotion service does the work of everything, but that's not the purpose. If you see that somebody is trying to shoot down the mosquito using a machine gun, what do you say? Buddhi nahi hai iske baad. He doesn't have no brain because he is misusing. And in the same way, what does Krishna says? Alpamedhi. In Bhagavad Gita, he says that those people who are too much indulged in this sense gratification, he says they are less intelligent, isn't it? He says that. So in mind of Krishna, he said, अरे बुद्धि नहीं है इसमें. इतना भागवत को ले करके material development चाहता है ये. So the problem with Parchina Varishat was that he was too much involved in ritualistic activities which are meant for material development. And Narad Muni seriously had a problem with that. They said, if you would live forever, if we were meant to live forever, ritualistic ceremony makes some sense, isn't it? That because अब मैं 10,000 साल करोड़ साल तक जीने वाला हूँ, so let me do something that means rest of my life is going to be smooth. But first problem Narad Muni is saying, you don't even know how long you are going to live. With a blink of the eyes, you are destroyed. Finished. Then you have to change your existence again. Now that change of the existence depends on how you live this life. So therefore be careful what you do. Because by the blink of the eyes you can be destroyed right away. So Narad Muni is warning that to Parchina Varishat. So in order to make Parchina Varishat understand this fact, आप लोग याद करिए, I am going this again and again on this same story because I know this is very important story, but I want all the devotees to remember this story, how it goes. So to give this information, Narad Muni wanted to create a situation to say that yes, Parchina Varishad, there was a person similar to you. A person who did exactly what you did, and ultimately this what the result is. Now in order to convey this to Parchina Varishad, who is the son of Avirdan. Son of Avirdan. We already did the line of Dhruva Maharaj. So he's trying to convey to him this, and in order to do this, he takes one character into the picture. And what is the name of this character? His name is Puranjan. So Puranjan basically means, Puran means the body, Ranjan means one who enjoys within the body. Okay, so body everyone has. Okay, and everyone in some capacity is enjoying the bodily feature they have. Some people enjoy the tallness they have. When somebody says, "Oh, you are so tall, तुम्हारा शरीर बहुत अच्छा है," do you enjoy? So in one way, everyone enjoys the existence of being there. So everyone in some percentage is either enjoying or suffering the body they have. So therefore, he takes this title as Puranjan. Okay? The first part he spoke with Puranjan was, he said there was this person, Puranjan, in search of proper place to live. He searched through the universe and ended up where? South side of the Himalayas. Himalaya indicates the place. Okay, the best place to be in. For tapasya, what is the best place? Himalaya. So therefore Narad Muni says he ended up in the south side of Himalayas, means what is the best species of life? Indicating the best space to the species. And what is the best species? Of all life, what is the best one? The human form of life. By saying the south side of Himalaya, he indicates the human form of life. Okay, wandering through different species of life, sometimes taking as animals, sometimes taking as birds, reptiles, other thing, and being dissatisfied with what he got so far. So we are all changing bodies every time. So we come in contact with one particular body, that is human form of life. Then entering within that Himalayas, he said that he came in contact with a nice palace. This palace had how many gates? The palace had the pillars that were made out of gold, indicating to the bones of the body, he said. Okay, so he came to this palace, the human form of life. Okay, and this human form of life, or this palace, had a beautiful carved pillars surrounding the entire palace very strongly. So that indicated the bone of the body. Then he said, well, there were nice trees within that palace that is surrounding the palace itself. That is the hair of the body, the topper part of the hair. Then he said there was nice grass in the garden indicating to the hair of the body itself. The hair of the head and the hair of the body. And within that garden, there was a beautiful woman that the king saw. Who is the king? Puranjan. Puranjan saw the beautiful. Now get this story. I'm just recapping this again before I go to the next one. Otherwise, the next part won't make any sense to you. So he said this Puranjan got beautifully attracted by this beautiful woman who was accompanied by the 11 servants. Now you can say, what are the 11 servants? The senses. Okay, 11 servants. But this lady did not know any identity of the servants. She had no idea about where they come from, who their families were, how they came in contact. When the king said, who are these? So I don't know, don't ask me anything about the identity of these friends of mine, indicating what is the identity of the mind and senses. Nothing, no one knows. No one knows who they are associating with. Although we carry them all the time with us, but no one knows who these are. Then the king said, whether you know these people or not, but I'm in love with you. Then the queen says, well, I'm in love with you and I was searching for a suitable husband for myself. So this wife is who? Intelligence. Yes, when we get a human form of life or any form, come in contact with the intelligence. The intelligence is accompanied by the 11 senses, and this queen was guarded by the 5 nagas, 5 serpents. And who they were? Who are the 5 serpents? The 5 types of prana, the air. The serpents are the protecting factor. Like what protects us? The life air itself. Protected by the 5 types we call apana vayu, prana vayu, udana vayu, saman vayu, and brahmana vayu. Like when we do a havan, we say pranaya swaha, udanaya swaha, samanaya swaha, brahmanaya swaha. So all these things are there. So followed or accompanied by these 5 servants who are protecting her, and having the 11 maid servant, and every one of these 11 maid servant had unlimited children. What does it mean? Desires. How many desires we have? Unlimited. Accomplished. So this is a nice allegorical story. By the time you realize, when Narada Muni closes down the chapter of this story itself, which you have to be a little bit patient today, because I don't want to keep story for later on, and I don't want to let you go without learning the story also. So she said, okay, no problem. So the king felt in love with the queen, and they planned to get married. So basically, the human form of life, we accepted this human form of life accompanied by, okay, so we talked about the family and her friends. So later on, the king said, Priya, I want to go to forest for hunting now. So the wife complained, but sometime we don't go according to the complaints of the wife. He said, "I complain करती रहती है, प्रभु माइंड मत करो इनको, इनका ये कहने का आदत पड़ गया है इनका." Yes. So the king did not really worry about what the wife said, but went to the forest, meaning that we reject the advice of the intelligence and we walk out. We work against the intelligence, isn't it? नहीं, समय के हिसाब से adjust करनी चाहिए. Even if you are, you came to America with nice qualities that were intact within you, अरे ये समय का मांग है, अब क्या करें? Like one of the guy I was discussing some days ago, he's from Nepal. He's born in a nice Brahmin family as he was born. That he said, like, how we use the milk of the cow and the urine of the cow in order to purify. So that's the culture we are from. Then he tells me that गाय का मांस खाने वाले चंद्रमा में पहुंच गए, हम पेशाब खाने वाले यहीं के यहाँ रह गए. So I had a big discussion with him. The point is that we become so corrupted because we rejected the advice of the intelligent and we adjust with the law of nature. So that's what happened here. Okay, the king rejected the association of the intelligence and planned to go to the forest. So accepting the human form of life is one thing. Okay, then entering into a griha on the kupa, or entering into the family life, having a children, having a wife, having a responsibility, that's the second part. The great and successful sages, they have always said, control your senses, control your existence, just engage in devotional service of the Supreme Lord, you will be liberated. We all know that part. But still, we intend to get into the family life and entanglement. So that's what the king going to the forest basically means accepted the marriage life. That's what it is about. So he went to the forest. Basically, as he entered into the forest, he heard the chirping of the cuckoo birds. You know the cuckoo birds and the swans. So they made very beautiful sound by chirping. And the king became captivated by it. So he said, well, I can hear so clear from out of the forest. Maybe they are inside the forest. Let me go and check out what they are. So he entered into the forest. Okay. So cuckoo birds, you know what that signifies? अरे तुम्हारे बिना मेरा जीवन में कोई नहीं है, केवल तुम ही हो, तुमको छोड़ करके मैं क्या करूँगा, कुछ नहीं करूँगा. It starts with that in life. You come in contact with somebody, says a nice, pleasing words to us, and we think the life is about the pleasing words. But you don't know what comes in later part of the life. So that's how all of us get trapped. And we know, we are all family people. We know what we have to get through sometime in that family life. Sometimes you think this is the biggest mistake I have ever made. With some things that come up. So he went to the forest to hunt. So this is Narad Muni telling the story. Okay? Because he himself is a brahmachari. Everyone is envious of him being happy. So therefore he has right to speak these lectures. Okay? And he's the happiest person. Always has a free visa, doesn't need passport, nothing, just traveling through Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. And then he reaches Vaikuntha and he goes Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. Reaches Sutal, then he goes Narayan, Narayan, goes to Patal. He has access everywhere. What a better life. So now he's telling Parchina Varishad who is totally trapped. He can get nowhere. So he said, he goes to the forest. He hears the cuckoo birds. So after being heard, after he hears the cuckoo bird, he becomes further attracted by that forest. He enters inside. And he comes in contact with what? Lions, the bears. Yes?